Hi there and welcome to this WordPress tutorial. In this tutorial, let's see how you can design a simple WordPress website, and in the process you're going to learn how to use WordPress. So we're going to design something like this. Everything we used in this theme is free. So this is a free theme that I'm using, and you're going to see how to use WordPress to design your pages, how to work with the menu, how to create all these elements, how to work with the widget area, anything that you need to do with a simple WordPress website, you're going to see how to do it. The contact form, you're going to see how you can add a contact form if you need to. If you don't need these elements here, you're going to see how you can remove them so that if you need to create a page without a sidebar, you can do that as well. Go ahead and start watching this tutorial if you want to learn how to use WordPress. And this is a very quick tutorial that will show you how to build a WordPress website without any coding skills. So at any point, if you do have any questions, feel very free to let me know and I will see how to assist you. Make sure you're following along with me throughout this tutorial so that you can cement the skills that you're going to learn in this WordPress tutorial. So I will see you in the next video when we get started. See you then. Hi and welcome to this WordPress tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to install WordPress on my local computer. And for that, I will need Xampp, and Xampp is a free application that you can use to run WordPress and WordPress-like applications on your local computer. The good thing about Xampp is that it is a free application and it is also multi-platform. That means you can run it on Windows, Linux, or Mac. So in this video, let's see how to install Xampp and install WordPress. So to get Xampp, just go to Google and search for Xampp. And you want to download it from this website, so just click on the first search result, and so you can see that PHP version 8 has been released, and this has already been set up for the latest Xampp. But for me, I want to install a version that has PHP 7. So if you're watching this tutorial in future and it says that the version of PHP that is most widely supported in WordPress is 8.0, is 8.0, then you should probably download this, which has version 8.0. And if you come here on WordPress, you'll see that the requirement is currently 7.4 or higher. All right. So we want to download other versions. If you want to download other Xampp versions, just click here for other versions, and we're going to see which version we can download. So I'm on Windows, and therefore I can just download the version for Windows. And for me, I'm going to take this one, which is 7.4. You can download for the other platforms if you just scroll down and download the correct version. For me, I'm going to download the one that has PHP 7.4. So you should also choose that as well if you're following along with me. So I'm going to click on that and I will download the 64-bit version. Okay, so the download is complete and I can just install it. Okay, so I already have it downloaded, so I'm just going to double click on it. And this is just a warning about antivirus. I'm just going to click yes to continue. And user account control is turned on. I'm just going to click OK for that one as well. And then next. And for this, there are certain applications I really don't need to run WordPress. So for that, I'll remove this. This is a file transfer application. You can use it to transfer files via FTP. I'm not going to need that. I'm not going to need this one as well. Even that, I won't need it. PHP, my admin, I definitely need that. I don't need this. This is a web. This, I really don't need this on my local computer, and I don't need that one as well. So the most important applications that I will need to run WordPress are Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Then click next, and we're going to choose the default location for installation. If you want to install it in a different location, it's also possible. You can install it anywhere else that you want to. Next. Next. Setup is now ready to begin installing. Click next. And let's just give it time to install. And then once we come back, we're going to see how to visit the local host and also how to install WordPress. So the installation is complete and I can just click there, allow access. That's my firewall. And then I'll click on finish. and it will open the Xampp control panel. So the only applications that we need here to run are the ones we installed, and we installed Apache and MySQL. So I'm going to click there, Start Apache, and then Start MySQL. Allow. So that's why you are getting the errors about user control during installation. It will keep bringing that every time you try to run anything from Xampp, but only the first time. So let's go to the browser, and we're going to go to localhost. So if you come to the localhost, you'll see this page, and this means that your installation is successful. So the first thing you may want to do is you want to create a database for WordPress. So let's come here under phpMyAdmin, and on this page you can create a PHP. You can create a database for your WordPress. First of all, let's download WordPress, and then we're going to see how to install WordPress. So to download WordPress, just go to wordpress.org and click on Get WordPress. And then you're going to click here, download WordPress 5.6, which is the latest version. So I already have that downloaded, but go ahead and download it if you want to follow along with me. All right, so there is my WordPress downloaded. And to install WordPress, we're going to need to extract these files, and then we're going to need to create a database, and then we're going to run the installation here on the browser. So the first thing I want to do is let me create a database for the WordPress installation. So I'm going to click here. I can just click new, click on create new, and here you give the database a name, and we can call it anything you want. So I've called mine WPDB1, and then I'm just going to leave the default settings as they are, and then I'm going to click on create. So there we go, we have our database created, and now the next process is for us to extract these files into the directory of Xampp. So how does Xampp work? If you want to install any application inside of Xampp, you'll need to go into wherever you installed it. So mine was installed under Xampp in the local disk. So all your WordPress files, all files, any website that you want to run on your local computer, you'll put it under htdocs inside of this directory. So inside of this directory, this is where your WordPress files will be. Any website that you want to create, they will be under there. So let's say you have a folder called, let's just call it WP. If you have a website called WP, you can just go under localhost /WP. You can just go under localhost /WP, and that's where your website will be. And if you have another website, you can also add them there. So maybe you have another website using a different platform. You can just create another folder and add your website inside of it. So all your website will be inside here, okay? So that's the point. So for us, we want to extract our WordPress files inside here, so that we can run WordPress on the local computer on the browser and install it. So I want to extract all these files inside here. So on Windows, I can just select everything, and I will drag and drop everything inside here. All right, so everything is extracted here. So whichever platform you're using, make sure you extract them. So note that I've extracted them inside of this folder. Okay, I've extracted everything inside of this folder. So don't put them inside of another folder inside of this folder. So right now our WordPress is ready for installation. If I visit this website, it's going to bring the WordPress installation, and I can just refresh the page and choose a language. We'll continue with English. Now the next process will need a database name, username, and all these other database details. So let's click on go, and our database was called WPDB1. So the database name WPDB1, and then the username, the default username will be root. So if you're installing this on a web host, just find out these details for your database. And then the password, by default on the local computer. If you install Xampp, the default password is, there is no password. And then the database host, we leave that as it is. Table prefix, yeah, you can also add that table prefix. You can change this actually. So I will change it to something like that, and then I will click submit. All right, so we can run the installation. If you come across an error on this page, just go back and check that your database details are correct. Now we can run the installation. We'll give the site a name, and I'll call this, let's just call it sampled. And then your username, you can use a username for your website here. I can just use sample as well. And then the password, I want something that's easy to remember. I'm on my local computer, so make sure you use something that is strong. But for me, I want to use something that is easy to remember. So you can see it says that this is weak, but you can click confirm use over weak password. So make sure your password is strong, okay? So to make a password strong, just change this with numbers. You can also add some special characters like ampersands, hash, star. You can add all that in there to make it a strong password. And then email, you can use your real email address, because if you use an email address that is not real on a public website, you will not be able to gain access. You will have problems trying to recover your password if you forget the password. So since I'm on a local computer, I can just click discourage search engines. So when you take the website online, you can uncheck that, and I'll show you where you can do this under settings. So just with that, you can click install WordPress. All right, the installation is done. Now we can log in to our dashboard. Log in. There we go. WordPress is installed. So that's how to install Xampp and install WordPress. So if you come back to our database, you can see right now the database is empty, but after installing WordPress, if we click on it again, you're going to see it has been updated with our WordPress tables. And you can see it's also added the table prefix that we added for our table. So that's how to install WordPress and install Xampp. So if you do have any questions, feel free to let me know. In the next video, let's see how to install a WordPress theme and create a child theme. So we're going to install a new theme and create a child theme. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi there, and welcome back to another video. In the last video, you saw how to install Xampp and install WordPress in Xampp. So in this video, let's install a WordPress theme. The first way in which you can install a WordPress theme is you can just come here under appearance, go into themes, and click here on add new theme. You can browse the WordPress repository for your WordPress theme, any WordPress theme that you want. So maybe I want to install Astra. So if I want to install this theme, I can just click on it and install it. And that's one way in which you can install a WordPress theme. And this is a very easy and simple way. You can also upload a theme. Just click there, and then you'll upload a zip file. So let it be a zip file. It has to be a .zip format file. This is a way for you to install a theme. Maybe you have a premium theme and you want to install it. You can just choose the premium theme file and then click there, and you will upload it, and the installation will happen automatically. So you may experience some issues with this. If you do experience any problem with this, just let me know, because the problem may be due to insufficient memory on your php.ini file. And that's something that you can change in Xampp or any PHP version. So that's something that you may experience as an issue. But if you do experience that as an issue, you can also upload your WordPress file. So let's say I download this theme. Let me download this theme, and then I'm just going to show you how you can upload it to your Xampp, the WordPress theme directory. So let's search for Astra, and I want to download the free version from wordpress.org. So I'm just going to click there, and I can click on download theme, and you can see it's a very, very small theme, 1.1 MB. So I can just start download, and I can open the folder where it is. So if you want to install a theme, as I said, you can just look for the location of this theme, the zip file, and it will be installed. Or you can also extract this file inside of your WordPress directory. So where's your WordPress directory inside of Xampp? Let's go into, I'm on Windows. So if you're not on Windows, feel free to follow along with the platform you're using. So Xampp was installed here. And we said that all our WordPress files, all our files under Xampp will be under htdocs, and our WordPress was installed under this folder, and all your themes and plugins are usually located under WordPress content. So your plugins are there. If you have a plugin that you just need to extract, a premium plugin, you can just extract the files, bring the folder in there. Make sure you extract the folder in there for your plugin. But for us, we are working with a theme. So for a theme as well, you can just drag in the theme directory, and I'm going to drag in that theme in there. And as soon as I do that, the WordPress will recognize the theme. So I don't really need any of these other themes, and I can just delete them. But I'll show you how to do this within your WordPress. You can also just delete them directly by deleting all these folders right here on your Windows directory. So once you do that, if you go under themes, we are going to see that we have a new theme. So we want to create a child theme for this and then activate the child theme. But before that, let's delete all these other themes. So theme details, delete. Okay. Theme details, delete. Okay. And for us to delete this, we have to make this our primary theme. So I'm going to activate that. And as soon as I activate it, I can delete this theme. So right now we only have the one theme. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a child theme for this. And to create a child theme, I could do it manually, but I'm going to use a plugin for this because it will make my work very easy. So I'm going to come here under plugins, and I want to add new, and I want to look for a child theme generator. Let me just install this because I've used it before without any issues. So let it install, and then we'll activate it. As soon as I activate it, I can find it under tools, and I will click on child themes. I want to create a child theme. So here, create a child theme. So you can see right now I only have one theme. But if you had multiple themes, you can choose the theme for which you want to create a child theme. So once you choose the theme, just click on Analyze. Primary style sheet, I will leave that as it is. Select parent theme style handling. For that as well, I will just leave that as it is. Anything else that I need to change here? Let's see. Oh yeah, you can change the name for the child. Like for me, I can just call this theme Baby Child. You can call it whatever you want because it's just the child theme directory. This is a folder that will have your child theme files. Anything else that I need to change here? I don't think there's anything else. And then you can also change the child theme. You can also change the child theme details right here. These are just various metadata for the child theme. And you can give it your website, because this is a child theme that you're the one that's creating. So it doesn't have to have the content for the original theme authors, because you will be editing this theme yourself if you want to change various things. You can change them or leave them as they are. I'm just going to leave them as they are. And then the version, I can just say 1.1. Just note that if you don't want to change anything here, you can leave them at default and the theme will still work well. And I'll leave everything as they are, and then I will click on Create New Child Theme. So the child theme has been generated. You can preview the child theme and then activate it. So I'll just click there, activate and publish. This is a theme that I want to use. So you're probably wondering, why should I care about a child theme? The good thing about a child theme is that if you make any changes on your primary theme, you won't lose those changes. However, if you're using the theme, the parent theme, without using a child theme, when that theme is updated, you will lose those changes, especially if you add your CSS in the style.css of your child theme. And we can look at that in our directory here. So you can see all the themes which were here have already been deleted. But now we have our child theme. and we have our parent theme. Okay, so the parent theme is that, the child theme is this. So if you make any changes to your theme, they will be recorded in your child theme, and even if this theme gets updated, you won't lose the changes. So that's the good thing about creating a child theme. And you may find a situation whereby you will be editing some files, or if you hire someone to edit any changes for you, like there are changes you may not be able to do because you're a beginner, but if you do hire someone else to make these changes for you and they make them here, when you update this, you will lose those changes. That is why it is important for you to use a child theme. From the very moment you start building your WordPress website, make sure you have a child theme. And if you're using a theme that doesn't support a child theme, just make sure you change that theme, because that's a terrible theme you shouldn't be using anyway. Right, so in this video you've seen how to install a WordPress theme, and we've also seen how to create a child theme. So what I want to do is I want to go and delete the plugin because I don't need it anymore. So I'll just come here under plugins, and I want to delete this child theme configurator. I will deactivate it first and then I will delete it. You can also delete multiple themes, multiple plugins. I need to delete that, and this one as well. It's a useless plugin. So I'll just click there, delete, and then click apply. And just like that, you've deleted those themes and they won't be available for you even in the directory. If you go there, you won't find their folders. So in the next video, let's come in here and we're going to change our permalink. So if we go to our front end, let's see if we can go, let's just go to comment. You can see that the permalink for our post is not very friendly. So we want something that's friendly. We just want something that has the title of the post. So that's what we're going to do in the next video. We're going to see how to change the permalink so that it can just reflect the title of the post. So I'll see you in that next video. In this video, let's see how to change our WordPress permalink. So the permalink is very important for SEO, and this is not very SEO friendly. So you want to make sure that your permalink is very reflective of the post that it represents. So in this video, let's see how you can change the permalink so that it reflects the title of the post or anything that you change it to without adding all this other useless content. To do this, you're going to go to your settings, and under settings, you're going to go to permalinks. So to change your permalinks, just come here under permalink settings and then click on post name, and then this will make sure that it will replace this with a post name, so the title of your post. So just use post name. Okay, click there, post name, and then save changes. And as soon as you save those changes, if you come back and we try to refresh this, you're going to get a 404 error. So if you go back here and let's just click on comment, and we can come back to our post, and we'll see that our post now only has the title of our post, and that's what we want for SEO friendly posts. In this video, you've seen how to change the site permalink, and the site permalink is important for SEO purposes because at least it tells the search engines what your post is about using a simple title like that. So that's something that is important for your WordPress, and you can change it easily on your WordPress settings. So that's it for this video. Let's get started in the next video by designing our pages, and we're going to start designing our home page so that we can have something that is friendly for our visitors. So I'm going to see you in that next video when we start designing the homepage, and we're going to do it in steps. So make sure you watch all the videos step by step and make sure you follow along with me as we design the homepage. I will see you in that next video. Hi and welcome to this video. In this video, before we start creating the homepage, let's talk about the difference between posts and pages. So to start, we have to start from the beginning, and in WordPress we have something called post type. Now the post type reflects the type of content that you can create. So this is where everything in WordPress comes from, the post type. By default, WordPress comes with two major post types, and it comes with posts and pages. So if we come back to WordPress, you can see if we click here on new, if you come here and we just put our cursor there, you see you can create a post, a new post, and you can create a page. So these are different post types. You can also do the same. So you can see here we have posts and we have pages. Okay, so these are post types. We also have custom post types. So here under post, the major post types that we have in WordPress are, so we do have pages and we have posts. So there's a difference between these two. So pages and posts. Pages are just static content, and you can use this to create static content like about page, contact us, and you won't even have categories for such pages. However, for posts are what will make up your blog. So with posts, you can have categories. You can create categories. You can create categories for the different posts that you create, and you can also create tags. Okay, tags are just a way for you to tag the various content so that they reflect what the post is about. And then post, this will be listed in chronological order. So the date of posting this is important. The date for posting all your posts is very important. Pages, it doesn't really matter when a page was created. For posts, you can have RSS feeds for your posts. So RSS is something that you may have come across. Maybe you are even subscribed to various article content from various websites, maybe news content. Those are RSS feeds, and most of those are based on posts. So even news websites, they're probably just posts. So the major difference is that pages are just static content that you can use to share information. You want to tell your visitors about your services, you can create a page. You want to tell your visitors how to contact you, where to get you, where you're located, you can create a page for that. Post will be listed under your blog page. So in WordPress, there is a blog page, and that blog page will list all of your posts. However, for pages, there's no blog page. You won't be able to list all the pages in one page for your pages. However, for posts, you can have a blog. You can have a blog page which will list all your posts. And in WordPress as well, we have something called custom post types. So you can have a custom post type. On top of the pages and posts, you will find that there are various plugins or various themes that will also come with other content. So custom post types are important because they enable WordPress to have more features. So for example, maybe you want a page for your videos. You want to create post types of videos, right? So you can have video content. You can have a post type of videos, and this will also operate just as posts because they have the same characteristics as posts depending on how they're defined. So you can have posts, you can have news. Most plugins are usually just dependent on these custom post types. So maybe you have a plugin that works with video content, a plugin for video content. Maybe this plugin will just create a custom post type for videos and then will display those videos a certain way. So custom post types are very important in WordPress, and you can also create them. Maybe you want articles. You just have two different post types. You want one which has articles, and for this, without creating a new post type, you can use blog for this. However, if you want a new post type, you can create a video post type. And then once you create the videos, maybe here you can embed your YouTube videos just as normally you would with any other type of post on WordPress. So custom post types are also very important, and you can create as many different as you want to. You may even want a custom post type whereby you only have images. So you can create a custom post type for images. Here you'll just post memes or quotes or whatever you want to post here. So custom post types are available in WordPress, and it's something that you will encounter if you use plugins. So most of them are actually just predicated on creating custom post types. For us, we wanted to see the difference between posts and pages, and we've said pages mostly static, and then pages mostly static, and then posts, these are content that you just create, and you can create them regularly, and they will be listed under your blog page. Your blog is predicated on posts. Okay, so we're going to see how to create pages and how to create posts. So in the next video, let's see how you can create a page and how you can create a post in the same video. I will see you next time. In the last video, we spoke about the difference between posts and pages. In this video, let's see how to create posts and pages. So to create pages, you'll just come here under page and you can click on new. If you want to see all your pages, you can just click on pages and it's going to show you all the pages that you currently have. So here we have a sample page and I can just trash this. And if you want to permanently delete it, you'll have to come here under trash and permanently delete it. So let's click here and click on add new, and we want to add a new page. So of course you can give it a title. For this, let's say this will be our blog page, and we say that for blog posts, all of them will be listed under a blog page. So for us, let's call this our blog page. And since this is a blog page, we don't need to do anything. We'll just publish this page. And also please note that on pages, you'll see how to design pages in upcoming videos, and you'll see all the details about how you can use the WordPress content blocks to create your pages. But that will come later. So let's just click there to go back, and now you can see we have another page called a blog page. So if you want to create another page, you can just do so. You can click there and add another page. And let's call this one contact. So for this one, maybe you want to change the permalink for this. You want to change the permalink for this under page. You'll just come here on this side. You'll see this option here for URL. You can change the permalink there. That is the link for the page. You can change it right there. We're going to design these pages later. For now, you can just click there to publish, and that's how you can publish. And for this one as well, let's change the permalink. So let's just edit it. And we want to change the permalink to just blog. And then update. And then come back. Now let's see how you can create a post. So if you want to see all your posts, you can just come in here and you'll click on posts. You can create a new post. Just click there, add new. And you can call it whatever you want. The title, maybe marketing tips. And you'll put the content right there. You want to add a paragraph, you'll just click there and add a paragraph. We can get some sample content. So you can just get some sample content from here, and we can just copy. And even if you copy that, you can just paste it in there. You can add all types of content in here, and you're going to see how to work with the WordPress default editor, page editor here. You can add spaces. Maybe you want to add space in between, or maybe you want to add an image. You can add an image here. You can upload an image. So that's just a simple way for how to work with that. That's it for this video. I will see you in the next one when we continue from here. Hi and welcome back to this WordPress tutorial. In this tutorial, let's see how we can work with the WordPress menu. So the menu items that are up here, you can reorder them and you can place them however you want. You can add any menu item here. You can add custom links, you can add pages, posts, and so on. So let's see how you can do that in this video. So different WordPress themes will have different ways of working with the menu. So in this case, if you want to work with the menu for this theme, there's a menu location up here, and there's also another one. And there's also another one that you can place here on the footer. So we're going to see how to do that in this video. So if you want to work with the WordPress menu, you can just come in here and create a menu, or you can come in here. To get to this page, you'll just come here under appearance, and then you'll click on menu, and you can create the menu. You can create a menu here. So let's first of all create a menu, the main menu item. And this is just a way for you to group your menu, and we can just call it a main menu. And once you create this main menu, you can add menu items to it. So for us, you can see these are the most recent pages, but I'm going to click here to view all pages, and I can add all the pages that I want to add to this menu. So as soon as I select them, I can just click add menu, and I can also select where I want this menu to be. So for me, I want this menu to be my primary menu, and it's going to have all the menu items for my primary items right here on the top menu. So I can save that, and as soon as I save this, you're going to see the menu will be located up there. So what I want to do is I want to change the name for this blog page so that it can just be blog instead of blog page. And to do that, I'll just click there and I will edit it. And I can save that. And you can also add custom links. If you want to add a custom link to this menu, maybe you want to add it a link to some other place, you can just do that here, paste. Maybe you want it to link to store or something, and then you can give it a name. Up there, put the URL, and then here you give it the name. On top of that, you can also reorder items. Maybe you want this item to be somewhere there at the top. You can reorder item. Maybe you want this to be part of this. You can do that as well. So you can use this to create submenu items. But of course, I don't want this to be a submenu, and I want this to be the last item. I want this to be the second last item. And I will just save the menu, and then I can refresh. Okay. So you can see that has been added there, and that's something you can do. So in the next video, let's see how we can add the footer menu using the footer menu in Astra theme. So if you're using Astra theme, let's see how you can add a footer menu down here. So I will see you in that next video. So in the last video, you saw how to add the main menu up here. So in this video, let's see how you can do a footer menu, how you can add a footer menu on the Astra theme. So this is specific to the Astra theme, but you can still use these skills on other themes depending on what the theme allows you to do. So to work with menu, you can just come here and then go to menus, and you'll end up on this page. So let's create a new menu, and since we've already created a menu, we can create another one here called new footer menu. And we can save it, and we can add different links to this footer menu. Maybe for this footer menu, you only want the contact page and the home page. You can add that there, and maybe you want to add a privacy link as well. You can use a custom link for that. So let's just paste in what we had earlier, and assuming this is the link to your privacy page. And then of course you'll give the link a text, and for this let's just call it privacy, and we'll add the menu there. So we can make this capital, and we can save it, and we want this to be the footer menu. So in Astra, if you want to display the footer menu, you'd have to go into the customizer. Here, come here and appearance, and then go into customize, and then here on the footer, bar, you can see we have two sections on the footer. This is specific to this Astra theme. So here on the section 2, you can choose what you want to place there. And for me, I want to put the footer menu right there. So you can choose any item that you want here. You can even add text. You can add a widget. You can choose a widget. You can add the footer menu. So for me, I want to add the footer menu, and then I'm going to publish. And as soon as I publish, I should be able to see the footer menu that we've created on our homepage. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next video when we see how to change the footer content for this. So you want this to maybe reflect your website. We're going to see how you can change that in the next video. Hi and welcome back to another video. In the last video you saw how to add the menu items here on the Astra theme. In this video let's see how you can edit this if you want to edit these elements. So of course this is still right and I'm not going to change this. This will just give us the name of our site. So to change this you'll need to go to the WordPress customizer and you can go there. You can even click there by going. You can just go there by clicking there and then you will come here under footer. Let's go to footer. And if you come here under footer, we have the footer bar. And the footer bar has these two elements here. And you have section 1 and you have section 2. So section 1 is this, section 2 is this. So for section 2, as you saw in the last video, I chose to display the footer menu. Section 1, this is what is being displayed. So you can also change the design layout for this. And you can see the current layout that is being used is this. If you change it, you can use this and it's going to display everything in line instead of blocked. So you can also remove it if you don't want that section. I do prefer that and that's the one I'm going to stick with. So to change all this, you can see we already have the copyright there. You can change that if you want to, you'll use that. And then it's going to display the current year. And it's also going to display the site title. So if you want to see the available options that you have for this theme that has this kind of structure, just go to the Astra documentation and search for the footer bar, and you're going to see the options that you have for this. So for me, I definitely don't want to have that, and I will just remove this. And it's going to remove that. And when I do that, I should probably use this other option. You may want to add something like the privacy down here, terms and conditions, and you can do that using HTML. So you can add HTML down there. So let's see how we can add terms and conditions. Let's just add privacy down there. And I want to copy the link from here. So you can add HTML. Let's add a link HTML. So this is the most basic way to add a link, and this is an A tag. This simply signifies that there will be a link here, and this is where the link will go to. So that's where the link will go to, and if you want it to open in a new tab, you're just going to add target. And then you need to add the anchor text, and the anchor text is the clickable text that will be visible here. You can see right now there's no anchor text, but as soon as I add it, you're going to see something starts to appear there. And for this, I'm going to add privacy as my anchor text. So of course you don't need to do this. If you don't want to deal with HTML, you don't have to do this. But if you want to do something similar, you can just copy what I have here, and this will help you to add a link there. If you need to add a link, if you need to add another one, you just separate this and then you copy that and add another link right there. So maybe you want to add privacy, you want to add their terms and conditions. Let's just copy that. Maybe you want to add a second link. Let's just copy all the way from here, and I will copy, paste. And for this one, maybe you want to link somewhere else. So I don't have another link. I'll just leave the same link, but I will change the anchor text to terms and conditions. And now we have two links down there, and you can just publish. So that is how you can change the content for your Astra footer theme. So I will see you in the next video. If you didn't watch the video about how to add the footer menu, make sure you watch that, and that is a previous video. We've also added a menu up there. So in the next video, let's start designing our homepage, and I'm going to do that video in bits. So make sure you watch all the videos to see how it is done and how the final result will come out. So I'll see you in that next video. All right, let's start designing our homepage, and I will just come here on my dashboard. And let's go to pages, because I do believe we created a page called home. Okay, we don't have a home page yet. We can just create a new page. What is this draft? Okay, let's add a new page, and we're going to call it home page. And we're going to start designing it one step at a time. So make sure you follow along, because I will do it in multiple video sections. So I don't really have an idea of how I want it to be, but I do believe by the end, I'm going to have a page that is user-friendly and will reflect all the things that we want our website visitors to know about us as soon as they land on our homepage. So please note that I'm not using anything else. I'm not using any plugin, and I'm definitely not using any custom premium theme or premium plugin that has anything specific that will make this work easier for me. I'm just going to use the default WordPress editor here, Gutenberg Editor, which is right here, and I can use this to add different elements, different blocks on my homepage until I get the design that I want. And that's what I'm going to do in this video. So let's just start, and I'm going to click there, add block, and I can browse all the blocks that I have. So you can use any of these blocks to add content on your page, on any page or any post. And I'm just going to use these blocks to try and get a page that can be used as a home page. So I can go here, we have blocks and we have patterns. So any of these elements, you'd be able to use them. Just find something that is reflective of the kind of design that you want for yourself, right? So you can have two images side by side. You can have headers, and you see these are some headers that you can have here. And let me just see if any of this is of interest to me. And I'm going to use this at some point. So let me just choose any of this. Let's see columns, what we have. All right. Gallery. Let's go here under headers. And if I was to use this, I'd probably have to do some HTML and CSS to add a button here. And I don't want to do that, because I just want this to be a user-friendly beginner WordPress course. So I'm just going to go back here under blocks, and here under blocks, let me add media and text. And here I can upload an image. So here I can upload an image, or if I don't have an image, or if I already have an image in my media library, I can just choose one from there. But I can just click there to upload. Now let's say that's the image that you want there. Okay, so we are a marketing agency, and we can just add a title here. You can change the text. You can just select that, and you can change the default text. If it's not selected, just ensure you've selected on block. And this one, you can even make this one larger. And you may want to add a button there. So let's just see if we can add a button on this side. And as soon as I press enter, it brings this for me, and I can add a button. So to add a button, just search for the button, search for button. And I will add a button here. Here we can say something like read testimonials or view portfolio, something like that. And you can change the button color. If you just click on the button and you come this side on block, you can see down here we have color settings. Perhaps you want it to be that color. Here you can change the button color to reflect your branding. So make sure this is something that at least reflects your brand in some way. So I'm going to choose that color. You can use a custom color. You can add your color right there. If you do know the color code for your brand, you can add that there. Click on it again, and you can just change the color settings there, and you can change the text color to reflect whatever you want. You can also add a border. If you want the border radius to be something that is big, you can do that. So for me, I can leave it right there at 8. And the link settings, you can just click on it, and if you click there on link, you can add this to link somewhere. And later on, at some point, I'm going to show you how you can link to these testimonials on the page down here, and I can just add an element for that before I end the video. And you can also choose it to open in a new tab. So here, let's add a spacer. So a spacer is just a way for you to create space between elements on this page. Okay, so let's add something here, and you can add something like testimonials, and we can convert this to a heading, and let's make it heading 2, right? And then here I saw something that I can use for this. So just click there to add block, and then I will browse, and I want to add something I saw here that I can use as testimonials. Was it text? Yeah, here under text, I can use something like this as my testimonials, right? And I can put them all in one line like this. So you can put them, for me, I want to put them in one line like this so that they're easier to read and they're easy to browse through. But you can also create columns in here. If you come here under creating blocks, you can create columns. Just click there to search for column, and you can create columns. Okay, and for now I don't want to deal with that, so I'm just going to click on this, and you can see this has come down, but you can bring this up. Just select it, and if you click this, it's going to bring it up, and we want it to be the title for this. Please note that these are just elements that have been grouped and have been put there for you to use. They're just pre-designed and grouped elements. However, this is just an image, this is just text, this is just a quotation that you can add. So let's duplicate this element, and we can duplicate it as well. Duplicate and duplicate. So this can act as our testimonials. You can just leave them down there, and I will still need to add more elements in here just to let people know what our business is all about. So let's see how we can continue designing this page in the next video. But before we do that, I can just save the draft, or I can even publish. I can publish it. Before I publish it, let me confirm the permalink. Here under page, I can change the permalink. I can change the permalink. Let me just change it to home. And first off, let me publish the page. And then once I publish it, I can preview it. So you can see that I will need to remove this. Let me just do that right now. And the good thing about this theme is that I can remove that very easily. If I come down here, under sidebar, I can select no sidebar, and then update it, and then refresh the page, and you're going to see that it's something like that. And so we want a situation whereby this is our home page, so that when we click on that, our home page will show that page. To do that, go into your WordPress settings. Let me come here. Let's go to the WordPress dashboard, and I'll open that in a new tab. And then I will come here under settings and reading. In reading settings, I can change that right here. Your homepage displays a static page. The homepage will be the homepage, the page that we call the homepage. You can call it any page. You can use any page that you've designed as your homepage. And then the posts page, this will be our blog page. This is just a blank page that you created. Just create any page. You don't need to add any content into it. And then come here and select it as a blog page. And just with that, I don't need to do anything here. And if you're taking your website online, of course, you need to make sure that this is unchecked. But I'm offline, so I'm just going to check that and then save the changes. And if I come back here and I reload, now our homepage is a page that we are currently designing as our homepage. We're going to continue in the next video, and we're going to see how to continue designing our homepage so that it can reflect what we want it to look like. And I will see you in the next video when we continue from here. This is where we stopped in the last video, and let's continue on designing our homepage. So let's remove this title, and to do that in WordPress, or at least for this theme, you'll just come here on the editor. If you scroll down, you see this option that says disable title. You can do that and you can publish. And if you come back here and reload, the title will be gone. So in this video, let's add some elements here so that you can create some space between this and this. And then I'm going to show you how you can link this to this so that when people click on this, it will take them to this part and they can just read the testimonials. So let's just come back here on the editor, and I want to add content. Let's add some content. Let's come here under patterns, and we can just add any of this text content. Headers, let's add a header, and we can add this. We can add something like this. So just note that this is called a cover. This is a cover, but they've added all these already pre-designed elements in it, but it's just a cover. You can even design this yourself just here using the various elements. If you come here and you search for cover, you can design the same element using this cover. We want to add a spacer to introduce space between this and this. And then here as well, let's add another element, and let's see what you can add. Let's add these covers. I saw something else here, headers. Let's add that one as well. And we can add a spacer to introduce space between this and this. So you can change all this text to reflect whatever you want. So this is a button, and you can add a link to this button. And just as well, you can just click on the button and you'll be able to change the color settings for this button. And to do that, just click on it, and then you come here under blog. You can change the color settings to reflect whichever color you want to use. So my tab has crashed, but this is not a big deal. I can just reload. And let's see the autosave. View the autosaved version. And I can restore the autosaved version. And it's going to give us what we had up to a certain point. Yeah, there we go. So I can update this. And once I update this, I can refresh the page to see how it is now. So we're going to see how we can change the colors for this. But for now, first of all, let's see how we can link this to this section so that when people click on view testimonials, it will bring them to this section. So to do that, just come back here. And the first thing we need to do is we need to create a link for this. And I'm just going to click on that title. And then on this side of block, under advanced, let's give it an HTML anchor. So the anchor, we just call this, let's just give it the title for testimonials. Let's make it a small t. And just with that, if we come up here and we click on this, now to link on any element. So this is how you can link to elements on a page on using the WordPress editor. So what you can do is you'll just click on it, any element, even if it is text, you just click on it and you can add a link the same way. So I'm just going to click on that, and then I'll click on the link, hyperlink, and then I will add a pound sign or a hash sign. And once you do that, you can just link. You can make the link open in a new tab if you want to, but we're going to leave it in this tab, and you can see it says that it's an internal link. So I'm just going to press enter, and as soon as I press enter, the link has been added. So if I update and I come back here and I refresh, if I click on that, it's going to bring me here, and you can read the testimonials. So that's just a simple way, a simple trick that you can do using your WordPress editor. So that's pretty much it for this video. In the next video, let's see how we can add a link here, and if you want to change the color for that, and we'll also see if there's anything else that we can add on this page just to improve our chances of search engine findability. If this is your website, you're going to see how you can at least make it search engine friendly so that you can add more text without ruining the design of your page. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. This is where we are at the moment, and you can just edit any of these elements as you see fit, and I'm sure by now you can already see things that you can improve on this design. If that's you, then by all means go ahead and try and add or remove anything that you feel is not necessary for your design. So for instance, this one, if you don't want it, if you want the image to be on the other side, just click outside until the entire thing is selected, and then you can change the position of the image using that. So just make sure you click outside for that to happen. And of course, this is a text. You can change it or remove it as much as you wish, and you can add more text here. Even this can be a link. You can add text, and this will be a link if that's something that you want to add there. And if you want to change the image, of course, you'll just click on it. If you want to change this image, just click on it, and then here you can click on replace, and you can upload, or let's look at the media library if you have anything. Let's try that, and you see this would not work as well. So just make sure that any image that you add is proportionate to the content area. You can see this is a long image, and the images that I've used are not as long as that. I'm just going to reload the page without changing any settings so that I don't lose the image that was originally there. So just as well, if you want to replace this, just click and you can replace an image with the image of the individual who left the testimonial. So just make sure that the image that you add is also proportionate. Don't use very huge images, just something that is small enough to fit something like this, and not too big such that it will slow down your page. So what else can we add here? Let's say before testimonials, you want to add your list of services. First of all, let's add a heading, and we're going to add services. So for something like this, we'll use a heading, and of course you want it to be heading 2. And then I'll press enter. So I will browse all, and you can use the same thing that we used earlier for media and text. So for media and text, I can add the service that side, a description, just a bit of the description, and then an image that represents the service on this side. So I'm going to upload an image. Let's use that image, and we can just say the first item that you do here is Google Ads, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's called. Maybe that's a service that you offer, and then you'd add a description. Let's go to low rep because I don't want to type. And then I can add text right there. That's the first service. And then, so of course you know your services, and it doesn't matter what I add on mine. Just make sure yours is relevant to your business. And then I can add a spacer, and then I can actually just duplicate this. Where is the duplicate? I can duplicate this, and then I can drag it down. And for this one, let's switch the locations like that, and then I will add another spacer, and then I will duplicate it once again. Make sure you select the entire thing. Just select outside so that you can select the entire selection, and then I'm going to duplicate it there. I will duplicate it and then drag this down, and of course here I want to add another spacer. So maybe this could be something like Facebook marketing, you'd add all the text that you want for that, and the image as well. You can replace that. Let's see if we can find another image. Perhaps that can be for Facebook marketing, and then this, you can just use that for content marketing. This, you can also replace the image as well, upload, and you can use a different image for that. Let's just use that. So let's just duplicate this once again. Duplicate the entire thing. Make sure you have the entire thing selected. And then I will duplicate this and I will drag it down. And then, so for this one as well, let's change it. The image is on this side and the text is on that side. And this one will be just like that. So let's say this is something like website. So maybe in this you offer website design plus branding. So you can replace the image to reflect the image that you want to use for that. So you can see, you can pretty much just design your web page to reflect everything that you do. So I will just click there to update, and then we can come back here to look at what we have. And you can see here now we have our services. And if you want to change anything, you can see here these are too close. So maybe you may want to add a spacer here. So just hover until you see that, and you can add a spacer. You can even increase the height of the spacer and then update that. So for this, you can change the color. Just click on it, and if you want to change the color for this item, select it, and here on block, so just click outside until you find this, and you can see this is just a cover, and a cover is just something that you can use a background image and then add text on top of it. And you're going to see how to do that once we create a service page or an about page in upcoming videos. So if you want to change the overlay color, if you want to change the color for anything here, you can do that. Maybe you want a different color there. You can do that. You can use a solid color, or you can use a gradient color. So with gradient, of course, you'd need to change. You need to change the colors appropriately. You see, it will change the color there, and just click there. And maybe here you want something that's that color. So you can change the gradient colors of how you want this to appear. And I'm just going to leave it as that, as an example. And then for the contact, just click there, and on blocks, you can change the color of that as well. Maybe you want the color to be white. You want the text color to be white. And maybe you want the text color to be white and the background color for the button to be black. You can do that as well, just like that. So if you update that, you'll see the changes will be reflected on the other side. That's just something you can do as well. So if you reload, you're going to see that your changes are being reflected here. So for this element here, maybe you don't want to use these headers. Let's see in the next video how we can use covers. We can use this cover element, cover something like this, so that we can make it the headings for this type of situations. So let's see how to do that in the next video. I will see you next time. If you do have any questions at this point, feel very free to let me know. This is where we stopped in the last video, so let's continue. Let's see how we can use covers for these headings instead of using these headings. So let's come back here, and where is the first one? The first one we have is services. So here under services, let's just click there, and we're going to add a cover. If you can't see it here, just search for cover, and we're going to add a cover, and we want to use a color. So since our background color here is white, let's just use white. And so you can change the text color right there. So let's change this services. We're going to use services. And just note that just as well, you can come here and you can change the text size. Okay, so if you want to use a large text size, you can do that as well, and you can even use custom digits right there. So that's the first one. And perhaps maybe this is too big, you can reduce it. If you want to delete a block, just select it and then click on remove block, and we're going to save just to see the appearance of what we've done so far, and you'll see that this is much better than what we initially had. So you can do the same for all these others. For this one we did make it a link, so let's see if that's even possible here. Okay, so that's also possible using this, so it doesn't really matter. In fact, let's just change that as well. Let's copy. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to come here, and for this one I will duplicate this, and you can just drag it down. Let's drag it down all the way here, and there we can add it, and we'll call this Testimonials. Copy, and then I'm going to paste it there. Before I delete it, let's copy that, copy, and I'm going to delete this header, and then I will come down here under advanced HTML anchor. I will add, paste, update, and let's come back and see if our link is still working as it should. So read testimonials. Nice. So you see it's still working nicely. So as I've said, if you want to increase the font size for all that, you can do that. And this is just a much better design. So if there's anything that you want to change on this homepage, feel free to do so. All right. So as for me, using the free theme that I had, this is the best that I can do within this short time. And just remember that I didn't really have any of this planned out. I just decided that this is how it's going to be, and this is the design that I'm going to work with. If you want to change anything, you can even use this as your main header here and just make this link to whichever page. So in the next upcoming videos, let's see how we can design other pages. And we're going to start with contact. We're going to create a contact page. We're going to add a contact form, and I'm going to use a free contact plugin, and everything else that we're going to do in this tutorial, of course, will be with free plugin, just as I've used a free theme. So that's it for this video. If you do have any questions, feel very free to let me know. I will see you in the next video when we work on the contact page, and we're going to come in here and we're going to see how we can design this page by just adding a contact form and letting people know how they can reach us. So that's it for this video. I will see you next time. In this video, let's see how we can add a contact form on this contact page. So this is just a nice way for people who want to contact us to reach us. If they need to contact us using the form, they will just come to contact, and then they will be able to contact us. So in the upcoming videos, probably in the next one, I'm going to show you how you can add and remove the widgets in this area. So to edit the page, just go to edit page. And the first thing I need to do, of course, is I need to add a WordPress contact form. So to add a contact form, let me first of all go back. So let's refresh this page. So to add a contact form, let's just come in here under our dashboard. And to go to your dashboard, you can always just go at the top on your front end and visit dashboard. So we'll come in here and we want to add a new plugin, and I'm going to use contact form 7 for this. There are multiple forms that you can use for creating contact forms, but I'm going to use this, the original contact form, which has been around for many years in WordPress. So it's a reliable one, and you can see it was updated 2 days ago. Activate the form. And so let's come here under settings, and you can create your form right here. If you go on the side, you'll see you have contact form. You can add new and so on. You can even look at integrations. Let's see what options we have here. You can set up constant contact. And if you go to the WordPress repository, you can search for other integrations which are available. which are available. There are many plugins that have been created for this contact form, and you can find them for this contact form 7 plugin, and you can find them on the WordPress repository. For now, let's just come here under contact forms, and I don't want to create a new one. I'll just use this default one. So I'll just click there to edit it, and I can just call it main contact form. You can create multiple forms and add them right here. So you can see this, I can just use this as my default, and it's going to give us a form that has all these fields. So if you don't want to deal with this, you can also use the other plugin, which I see people love to use on WordPress. Let's go back and plugins, add new. If you want to use a drag and drop editor, you can use this one. Form, just use this one. I'm just going to use this. So if you want to add any of these other fields here, your name, your email, you can see this is an email field. If you want to add any of this, you can do that here. You can maybe want to add a checkbox. Just put your cursor there and click there, and you can add a checkbox. You can make it required or any other options that you want to add here. You can make it a required field if you want to add it, and you can add all these attributes, but I'm just going to leave it at default, and then I'm going to insert, and you can see the checkbox will have been added. So I'll remove this. Any area that you want to add here, you want to add another element here, maybe you want to add a file download, you can do that. Make it a required field. File, give it a name there, a unique name, and then the size in limits for bytes, add that there. Maybe you want the file to be 4 MB, you can add something like 4024, and this is going to have a file size of 4024 bytes, which is around 4 MB, just slightly less than 4 MB. And then acceptable file types, just type the type here. You can put MP3, MP4, whatever files you accept, just put them here and separate them using a comma. And then the ID attribute, anything that you need to add there, and you'll have this right there. Okay, so this is something that you can add, but we don't need all this. We're just going to leave the default elements as they are, but I would suggest just use this one. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can use this. It's much easier to use than contact form 7. So let's just save this. And as soon as I save it, I can just copy this. And if I come back to the page right here, let's see if I refresh this page. Console, let's first of all update the page, and then I refresh this page. I don't know if there's a block for this. Most of these elements usually have a block nowadays. So let's just search for contact form 7. All right, we do have a block element for this. So I can select it and I can choose the contact form that I created. It should be able to show me my form when I come and view it. So let's go to the front end and see if our form is there. And you can see our form is here with our contact elements. All right, so if you do want your form there, you can have it there. Perhaps you may want your form to be in a column, so maybe you want it on this side. What you can do, let's just create a column here. Let's add a column block, column, and we want a column that has two sides 50-50. You can choose any of this that you want, but let's choose 50-50. And then is it possible to drag this inside of this column? All right, so yeah, that's possible. So I will update that, and then I will reload, and you can see now your form is just in this column. Maybe on this end you want to add something else. Maybe you want to add other details like location. You want to add your location right here. So maybe you have different offices. So maybe you want to add that location there. And if you come here, anything you want to add here, you can even add a map here. Just go to Google, copy the code, and then you can add it right here. If you want to know how you can do that, just let me know. I can create a video for that. And so there you go. The good thing about this theme is that it's responsive. So even if it goes down on a small device, your location will be located there, and you can add other locations if you do have them. So that's it. In this video, you've seen how you can add contact. You can add a contact form using contact form 7. So in the next video, let's see how we can use this other plugin. Okay, so we're going to see that in the next video. Before I end the video, let's come back here under sampled, and let's go and edit the page. And we want to edit this so that we can have the link to our form. Paste, enter, updates. So if we come here and we go, it will bring us to our contact page. So in the next video, let's see how we can add a form using the other plugin, which is called that. So I'll see you in that next video. Hi and welcome back to another video. In the last video, you saw how to add a contact form using contact form 7. In this video, let's see how to add a contact form using the other plugin. So just come under plugins and then click on add new and then search for contact form and then install this plugin. So I'm just going to click there to install, and then let's activate the plugin. So let's come back to this page. Our contact page. And for now, we're just going to delete. We're just going to remove the block that we added for contact form 7. And then I'm going to update. Then, so you see, you can create your first form, but to get there, just come here under WP forms and you can view all your forms. You can even click to add new. Let's click here to add a new form. Enter the name of the form. Let's just call it main contact form, and then select a template. You can create a blank form. I will choose simple contact form. You can choose any of these others, but I'm going to choose create simple contact form. And it's going to give me the fields that I need. If you don't need any of these fields, just click on it and then delete. Right there we have delete. You can delete any elements that you don't need here. You can delete. If you need to add any other element, you can just drag in another element. Just click there, add field, and maybe you want to add name, put it in there. You can add a name again or whatever you want to call it, but I don't need that. I'm going to delete it. Okay, I want to delete that. So you can see this is a drag and drop form builder that you can use, and very easy to use as well. Maybe you want a number slider there. You can add that there if you know the use case for that. So I will delete that as well. But just know that any of these elements, you can just select it, and then if you come on this side, you can change the content for it. You can even change the name, how it appears. So if you want any element to be required, you can select it as required or not, or any element here. Just click on it and you can look at the advanced settings as well, just to see what else you can change. You can hide the labels if you don't want the labels to appear. You can hide those as well. And just with that, I don't need to do anything else. I'm just going to save this form as it is. So once you do that, you can just close out of this and you can get back to WordPress. If you want to create another form, you can create another form. Maybe you have a form for different purposes. You can add a new form as well. So let's go back to the edit page, and here let me refresh this because I want to just grab it. I just want to grab it from here. Let's search for form, and you can see we have WP forms. So I will click on WP forms and I will select the form that I've just created, and it will be shown there for me. I can update, and if I come to the front end, you'll see our form is here. And for this, you probably need to make it full width. So let's come back here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another block up here. And to add a block up here, I can just press enter. And then for this one, can I just drag it up? I'll just drag it up there. Actually, if I don't add anything on this, they're just going to self-delete and they will not be replaced. They will not be displayed for me in the front end. So this one as well, I will select and press Ctrl C on my keyboard. And then I will come here and I will paste that. And if I don't do anything with this blocks down here, they'll just self delete. So for that, let's see if I can remove the block, and that's going to give us this. And I can also remove that block. So anyway, if I don't do anything with this, it won't be visible on the front end. So I can update this, and if I come back here and I refresh, we'll have our form there, and we'll have everything there. So you can add all the details that you want to add here. You can even add them in columns as we did. So maybe location 1, you want to add it in a column, location 2 in another column there, just like that. And you know how to do that because you saw me add 2 columns. You can add multiple columns if you want to. So that's it for this video. In this video, we've seen how you can add a form using WP Forms. In the last video, you saw how you can do the same using Contact Form 7. So whichever form you prefer to use, you can use either. So that's it for this video. I will see you next time. And next time, let's design our services page. Maybe you want to display your services in a page. So just note that you can also add a button here that will link to more services for each of these pages. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. All right, so let's create a services page. So if you're on the front end and you want to create a page, you can just come in here and click on New Page. And let's give it a title, Our Services. You can put an introduction there, paste that, and you can add the services however you want. If you look at the home page, you'll see that we did something like this, and you can do something similar for your services page if you want to, and you know exactly how you can do that. So for me, however, I'm just going to add an image here. And I can upload an image. Let's just use that. You can put your first service there. You can use a normal heading, or you can even use a cover like we did on the homepage. And we'll use a background of white. We want to change the text color to black, or if you want a different color, you can use a custom color right there. So the first service here was Google Ads. Now we are assuming that you want to give more detailed information about this service. So we'll put that there, and then we'll come back here. We want to copy more text, copy add a paragraph, paste. You can even put the image before that title. We want to add a spacer, and a spacer is going to ensure that there's some kind of space between these two elements. And then let me just duplicate this, duplicate, and then I can drag it down after that. And the second service was Facebook marketing. Perhaps you want to give more detailed information about the service and what people should expect. You can do that. I mean, that should be here. You can do that on this page, or you can even create individual pages for each of these services, and then you make them sub pages and subheading for services. And I'm going to do that as an example just in a moment. So Facebook marketing, and then I'm going to copy the same content from Ipsum, and then I will paste. As usual, you can add an image just to make it easy to read. So images are nice because they make content on your website easier to read. I will publish this as it is. Publish. If you want to change anything about the page, you can do that. on this side of the document. If you close that and you look at the page, you can change all these elements about your page. The next thing, let's say we want to create this as sub pages for the main services page. So let's start with this. Copy, and we can just create a new page and we'll paste that in there. And if you come this side on page, you can make it a sub page for a different page. So if you come to this side and you scroll down, you're going to see this page attributes, and you can see parent page. So here you can choose services. The services will be the main parent page, and I can add that, and we used that image. So you don't have to design it like this. You can design it. You can design it in your own way using the skills that you already have. Paragraph, paste. And then we can publish. And when I publish, let's see what's going to happen on the front end. If it's going to get listed under services. So services is not here yet, and what you need to do is just go under your menus, and I showed you how to work with the WordPress menu. So just come here under menus, and you see here we have services and we have our website branding. Add that to the menus. Now this is a footer menu. Let's add it to the main menu item. Select that menu, leave. We don't need to change those. And then I will come here and website branding, and I need to add that. I need to add that to menu. Of course, contact needs to be the last item. Website branding will be under that. So if you want it to be a sub item, make sure you drag it so that it's like that. And we want to make sure that automatically add new pages to this menu item. If you don't want to add pages here automatically, uncheck that, and you would need to come here and add your pages manually on the menu. So I will save that, and when I come back and reload, we should be able to see the page that we've just set up, and you can see that is under it. So if you want the services to be under the main services page, you can do that as well. All right, you can design your page however you want. So in the next video, let's come in and see how we can remove the widget area on this WordPress website that you're building. So in the next video, we're going to see how you can work with the WordPress widget, and we're going to remove all these elements because they are not important for our website. If it was a blog, it would be different, but it is a website with a blog as well. So remember, we did set up the blog. So the blog is actually active because we created a page and we went into settings, reading, and set this page as the blog page. So if you haven't done that, make sure you do that so that you can have your blog page as well. So that's it for this video. In the next one, let's work with widgets in WordPress. In this video, let's talk about WordPress widgets. So to work with widgets, you can just come in here, and if you come here on your front end, you can see widgets and you can work with the WordPress widgets. That's the first way. The second way is on your dashboard. Under appearance, you'll find widgets. And if you go to widgets, it will bring you here, and you can drag and drop your elements onto your widget area. So you can see the main sidebar has a search, and we're going to leave search. Even recent posts, we can leave the recent posts. We can delete that, archives, delete that one, delete. And you see, this depends on the theme that you're using. So you can add different elements on these widget areas, and this is all dependent on the theme that you're using. Let's say maybe I want to add our form on the footer. So footer section 1. Let's select our form. So this is working with WP forms, and you saw how to create this form when we created the contact page using WP forms. Contact us. I can save that. Let's see where that is located. So if I refresh, you'll see the other items are gone from our widget area. That was footer bar section 1. Okay, let's move it to a different section. Let's see section 2, which one is this? So this is all dependent on your theme. Maybe I need to enable it on the customizer. Footer widget area 1, let's put it here. I don't know where any of these are, but you're going to see where they are. So if you want to enable it on the customizer, let's just come in here and we are going to open that in a new tab. And let's just scroll to widgets. So the home page doesn't display widgets. Let's choose a different page that shows widgets. We want to enable the footer widget. So let's go to the footer. So once you're here on the customizer, just scroll down and get to this footer. And then footer widgets, let's see which one we can enable. So currently this is a default and this shows that the widgets are not being displayed. So I will select that. And once I select that, I should be able to see my footer menu. So that's footer widget, area 1, area 2, area 3, area 4. If you know CSS, you can make this look much better. And even if you don't want it there, you can definitely remove it. Background, you can change the background. You can change the background to match your branding. And I will publish that. So this is just a sample site and you can do whatever you feel like doing with your site. So you can see there we have that, and then maybe here you want to put something else. In these other widget areas you can add other elements if you want to. So let's come back to the widgets. Let's come back to our widgets section. Since we have enabled the footer widgets, you can just add any element that matches your design. So just choose whatever you want to add. You can add some text there, maybe some form of disclaimer, and then save, reload. So from what I can see for this theme, apparently if I need to add this widget, I have to do it via the customizer all the time. All right, so let's just do that anyway. So I'll come here on the widgets and footer area widget 1, we already have one, WP forms. Footer area widget 2, let's add a widget. And for this one, let's add text. Where is the text? We can add arbitrary text, and then I will paste, and we can just put their disclaimer as the title. So for this theme, if you want to add a widget on the footer, you have to do it via the customizer. Then we'll say done. Let's scroll all the way down and you can see that is there. You can add another element in the other footer area. Let's just add a search. You don't have to add all these elements. Any element that you don't add, it will not be shown on the front end. And then footer widget 4. So unfortunately here we don't have social media icons, but you can use a plugin for that. Let's see. So you can just find a plugin. There are lots of plugins for that. Perhaps there you want to add an image. You can just add an image. Maybe you're trying to advertise something. So let me just use this. I hope it's not too big. We'll change this. We'll change the size. medium, and then link to. So here you can change the link where it goes. I'll just click none. I'll just select none, and then I will save. And then I will publish that as it is and come back to the front end and refresh. Add a widget. Let's use image. Add image. So click on it. Ensure you have all these alt attributes for your images. It's good for SEO. And then we'll add image. You can edit the image. You can add a link for this image. Maybe you're marketing something. You can just add the link to wherever the landing page for that is. And then I'll publish. And then refresh. If you don't need any of these elements on the page, you can just remove them and they will not be shown on the front end for your visitors. So in this video, you've seen how you can work with the WordPress widgets. In the next video, let's see how we can add our logo. So you can see our logo is of this shape. So make sure that the logo that you want to add is of a similar shape. And I'm going to create something that is simple that I can add here. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next video when we add a logo up here. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back to this video. In this video, let's see how you can add your branding up there. So I've created these 3 images and we're going to use this. We're going to use this as our icon. So for your icon, make sure it's something that is a square, okay? Something that is a square. And then your logo, you can design yours in a manner similar to that, in that aspect ratio, because that is what will work well with our theme design. So make sure it's something that is like that so that it can work and match well on your site. So to change this, you need to go to the customizer, and you can go to the customizer right away by clicking there. But I do believe you're already on the customizer somewhere here. So I'll just close that. And I can go to the customizer, just click up there. You can also go to the customizer just by coming here under appearance, and then you go into customize, okay? So let's come back to the customizer here. We need to change header site identity. So under header site identity, select a logo, and I'm going to upload the logo that I just created here. Let's use the smaller one. Make sure you add an alternative text right there. So I can add something like sampled logo. Enter. And you can see even this one is not working well with my design, with the theme, but I'm just going to expand it all the way so that I can get the entirety of the design. And then I'll click on crop image. And there we have our logo. And then the next thing we want to add is the icon. So site icon, that's the one that usually appears on the browser right here and is also shown here. So if you add one, that's where it will be shown. So let's select an icon, and I'm going to upload one, and make sure it's in a square format, all sides to be equal, and I think they usually suggest 5 by 12 pixels. So make sure you design one in that manner, and mine was 600 by 600 pixels, and it still works okay for the design. If you scroll down, we don't want to see this text. If we scroll down, we can remove that. Display site title, we don't want to do that. We don't want to display the site title, and you can see the logo is still big. So let's see if I can change. Okay, I can reduce the logo width right there. So you can just reduce it down to make sure it is of a reasonable size on your site. As soon as I do that, I can publish and come back here, and I will refresh. That's pretty much it for this site. So for this store, let me just remove that. It's on the menu and we don't have a store. You can add WooCommerce. If you want to add a store to your website, it's very easy. Just add WooCommerce, add your products, add your shipping details, add your payment methods. There are lots of payment gateways, plugins that are available for WooCommerce. I will save that and I can go visit the front end. And now you can see, if you see up here, your site has a site icon. So make sure it's something that at least reflects your site somehow. All right, so that pretty much marks the end of this tutorial. If there's anything that you think I should cover and I didn't cover, just let me know and I can create a video about it. As I said, the website is on my local computer, so if I need to edit anything, I will edit it for you. Just let me know what you need added and I can do a tutorial about it for you. I will see you next time. If you have any questions, feel very free to let me know.